This is Brian Last. I am a special education teacher here at Cumberland Heights Elementary School, and I have started the Kindness Rock Project with my students. Have you ever heard of the Kindness Rock Project? Well, it's a great movement that encourages people to decorate rocks with inspirational messages and leave them in random public places for people to find. Isn't that a great idea? So, some of our students, we begin to get together and we begin to look for some rocks and so that we can get ready to paint them. And I just want to talk about some of the things that we had to do first. So the first step we had to do was that before you do anything else, we have to have the necessary supplies. So for the rocks, you want them to make sure they're not too big or too heavy, but not so small that they're hard to decorate. So usually we found about 3 inch across were the easiest to work with, and some of the bigger ones and some smaller ones that worked great too. Another important factor with rock selection is to make sure at least one side is pretty smooth. Kind of helps with decorating it and using paint pens as well. As for the spray paint and paint pens, you can decide to have a few or as many color selection as you want. So it's just up to you how you want to decorate your rocks. Step two, I highly suggest spray painting one side of the rock before you start making the kindness rocks. So it's kind of like preparing or prepping the work before you start. Sometimes we'll paint them blue or white or yellow on one side. So it just depends on what color you decide to do with it. Step three would be, which is basically decorating. So depending on the size of your group, you can either lay it on a blanket or on the grass. We did it outside, which was more fun. And we do have some tables that we had for some of our students to be able to sit and do it. So we would just want to make sure that the stone was thoroughly dried, and so our paint pens could go ahead and start making our design or our words that we want to write on there. So because we have some younger kids, we did help them with writing and decorating their rocks, and they had fun doing that. Once all the stones have been decorated and the paint is completely dry, we take we protect the rocks with a couple layers of some clear acrylic coating. We sprayed on top of it. So, and then we just let that dry. And then after we let it dry, we began to do some hiding and we hid some rocks around our school. So hopefully you got this and hopefully this will inspire you to do the same at your school as well. Thank you so much.